Complex in Bryan, Texas, Home Sports Entertainment presents Major Level Softball. Tonight, the Smythe Sox of Houston, the defending world champions, will be taking on CC Creations, the Texas A champions. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Gallup along with Mark Henson for this evening's softball game to kind of kick off a brand new athletic complex here in Bryan. And what a beautiful evening we have, Mark.
Fantastic. We've got about 1,500 to 2,000 people expected. I'm looking for a good ball game.
You've got quite an extensive background yourself in slow-pitch softball. You're a former player. You're a former manager. As a matter of fact, you managed this Smythe Sox team back in 1985 when you took them to the World Series, did you not?
Right. We had a little Class A team, local Houston fellas, and we snuck in that World Series, beat the #1 team in the nation, Steel Sports, and Tim got his feet wet, and he wanted to go big time and do it with national players.
What do you have to do to go big time? How do you move up?
Well, you spend the big money, you bring the players in from around the country, and you play home run ball.
You know, someone said something kind of scary, I thought, a little while ago. They said this might be the best team in history of slow-pitch softball.
Right. I think on paper they are the best team in history. They're versatile. They've got the power, the defense, the speed, and they've got some experienced players on this team.
Mark, what is the key in slow-pitch softball?
Score a lot of runs. That's what it is. A lot of runs. 21 outs versus 21 outs, like I told Tim in '85, and I believe he doesn't want to make any outs.
What about pitching? Let's talk a little bit about pitching now. How about that?
Well, pitching is going to play an important role in some levels, on the major level, and Smythe happens to have the best pitcher in the nation.
They're going to be taking on Bryan, the Class A state champions in Texas. What type of a game do you look for tonight?
Well, Bryan's got to score a lot. They've got to score every inning. They've got to take up some of this hour and a half, and at the end, if it's close, they could pull it out. They're going to have a lot of luck.
Okay, Mark, we're looking forward to the first pitch coming up here in just a moment on Home Sports Entertainment. Welcome back to the Bryan Athletic Complex. I'm Gary Gallup along with Mark Henson, and we're just about ready to get this ball game underway this evening between the defending world champion Smythe Sox, based out of Houston, Texas, and the defending Texas A champions, the team from Bryan, the local team here, CC Creations. And this has really been an exciting evening so far, Mark. There are a lot of people in the stands as they're dedicating this brand new athletic complex this evening, and what a beautiful complex it is. I think there are 4 fields here, and a lot of photographers out there. We're going to have the first pitch thrown out here in just a moment, and I'll tell you, it's going to be exciting, I think.
Yeah, once they get all the photographers off the field and get this thing rolling, looks like Smythe's going to take it real serious and start off with the 1986 home run champion as his leadoff hitter.
Smythe with a record of 85 wins and 5 losses last year. Of course, the world champions as they won that championship in Greensboro, South Carolina, and they will be the visiting team. Let's take a look at the lineup for the Smythe Sox. Leading off and playing shortstop will be Doug Brown. Bruce Meade will bat second. Bill Gaddy will be the #3 man in the batting order. Bill Blake, Rick Wheeler, Perlemeyer, the catcher, Whitehead, Hightower, Grissom, Pollock, and Slater. And we're ready to get it underway as the first pitch comes in and hits home plate, ball 1. A little bit low on that one, Mark.
Yeah, they're going to let them get it up to about 12 foot.
Well, here is the first hit of the evening, and it is out of here. A home run. And I think we're going to be able to see a lot of that tonight, don't you? Doug Brown leads off with a home run over the left center field fence.
Right, he's the perfect hitter for this field, dead center field. Kind of a breeze going to right center right now.
How many home runs do you think we will see in this game tonight, Mark?
Well, if conditions are right, we might see about 20, 25.
Bruce Meade will be the second batter. He is the right fielder for the Smythe Sox, and he jumps on the first pitch, rips a deep left field, and over the head of Basin out there, who makes a nice try, can't come up with it, however. And jogging into second base will be Bruce Meade with a stand-up double.
Looks like he hit his head on the fence when he backed up, knocked his cap off, and make some adjustments out there.
Good look at Bruce Meade standing at second base, and stepping into the batter's box will be the second baseman, Bill Gaddy. Gaddy at 5'10", 250 pounds, looked like he might be able to give it a ride.
Bill's been a 6-time All-American himself. He's a tough second baseman, too.
Makes his home in Louisville, Kentucky. These players come from all over the country, don't they, Mark?
They do. They've got a lot of guys on both coasts. Like you said, he's from Louisville, Kentucky right now.
Nelson misses with the first offering, and the next one is in there for a strike, so that evens the count, 1-1.
He holds the record hitting 15 consecutive home runs in one national tournament.
2 balls, 1 strike to Bill Gaddy now. Bud Nelson on the mound. And here is a long drive. Kiss it goodbye. Way over the left field fence for another home run for Bill Gaddy, and that will make it a 3-0 ball game.
He's putting it right up there a little high right now. I think he needs to work it a little bit lower on these guys and move it around some.
Well, we have seen 2 home runs out of 3 batters as you see Gaddy come across home plate and receive the congratulations of his teammates. The Smythe Sox lead the Brian C.C. Creations team 3-0. There's another look at it. Basin, the left fielder, doesn't even bother to give chase at all. He just kind of watched that one sail over his head.
This guy here is one of the longest hitters to come out of the state of Texas right now. I've seen him hit him out of a minor league ballpark, 360 feet, 20-foot fence.
And this is Billy Blake, the designated hitter.
They get it high on him, he's going to hit it over those lights.
First pitch to him is in there for a call, strike 1. Next one is going to hit home plate. That'll even the count. By the way, we have the umpires tonight. Jack Adams is the gentleman behind home plate. Larry Parker is at first base, and Tony Bourgeois is at third. There's a high pop fly, short left. Williams backing out, calls and makes the catch.
That's what he's got to do. He's got to make them wait a while, not groove it down the middle. Hope they miss it.
As you and I were talking before the ball game got underway, one of the keys that you pointed out, Mark, was that everything that is in play has got to be caught.
That's right. Anything inside the wire has got to be an out, or the next guy's going to hit it out of the park.
That brings up Rick Wheeler, the right center fielder, who watches the first pitch outside for a ball.
One of the longest hitters in the game. He's hit quite a few out of Anaheim Stadium in a couple of home run championship tournaments.
2 balls, no strikes. The next pitch is in there for a strike, and 2-1. I guess the question is, how many balls are going to stay in play? There's one right now as it's driven into left field where Mason will pick it up. And he will hold Wheeler at first base with a single.
That's what they've got to do, make them run the bases. If they don't hit it out, they've got to make them run, make them work.
The Smythe Sox lead it 3-0. There is 1 man out, 1 man on. As Mark Hurlemeyer, the catcher, steps into the batter's box.
This is his first year over here with Smythe. He was with Howard's last year. Western Steer, one of the perennial champions in softball. Most respected sponsors.
And the first pitch from Bud Nelson is in there. Call strike. Here is a long drive, deep left center field. This one is going to be out of here.
Looks like a welcome addition for Smythe, doesn't it?
Can't argue with that one as he wraps it out of the ballpark. That is the 3rd home run in 5 batters that have come to the plate, and that makes it a 5-0 score.
That's about 300 and, wouldn't you say, 35, 40 feet out there?
I would say at least that far. Look at him unwind on that as he just uncoils that body, and a youngster way out there behind the fence watches it go over his head.
I hope the snakes don't get him out there. He's pretty far out there.
Cecil Whitehead is the batter, and here's the second pitch to him, driven long down the left field line. Basin goes back, makes a nice grab right in front of the fence.
That's a fine play. By the way, we must mention, even though this isn't Bryan, neither team has ever played on this field.
Brand new athletic complex here in Bryan, Texas. Just opened tonight as the dedication ceremonies were held just prior to us going on the air. 2 away now. 5 runs have crossed the plate.
It's consensus of opinion this boy coming to the plate right now might be the best all-around athlete in the state of Texas right now.
And here's another shot. It's going to be off the left field fence. Basin will pick it up, and jogging into second base will be Hightower. Britt Hightower with a double off the left field fence. We might talk a little bit about the defensive alignment in slow pitch softball as we go along here, Mark. Of course, most of your outfielders are on the left side of the diamond. Obviously, this is a pull hitter's game.
All the way. And the wind's even blowing to right now, and they're still hitting it out there to left field.
John Grissom, the 3rd sacker, steps in and takes the first pitch for call strike 1.
John's one of the only two fellas from the Houston Class A team. Hightower, the one that just hit it in him.
This one's going to be off the fence, coming around third base. To score is Hightower. Grissom will go into second with a stand-up double, and that'll make it a 6-0 score in favor of the Smythe Sox.
That ball knuckled, and he's lucky he really didn't hit in the head with it the way he was chasing it out there in left field. You know it, Gary?
Tell you what, Basin is getting his work out there, isn't he, in left field?
He is. They may have to change if this keeps up at this pace. Put somebody fresh out there.
Lee Basin, the left fielder. And here is the pitch to the batter, Bill Pollock, who is the first baseman.
This is his first year for Smythe. He played for Emily Bombat last year.
And a drive into center field is going to be in there for a base hit. Grissom will score easily. And that'll make it a 7-0 ball game. And Pollock will pull up at first with a single.
Well, we batted around.
Buddy Slater, the pitcher, steps into the batter's box. Are pitchers hitters in this league, Mark?
On the Smythe team, it's not as critical as other big major teams. They're going to score so many runs. He's not as really a great hitter as he is a pitcher, but he'll hit about 600 anyway. He's a smart hitter. He'll work the pitcher. He'll get his base hits. He'll bat 600, 650. He can hit the ball out of these parks, too.
1 ball and 2 strikes to him as the next pitch lands in front of the plate, and that'll even it up at 2-2.
There you go.
Shot right up the middle, where Tommy will pick it up.
He's a tough out.
Return it back to the infield. There will be runners at first and second. And now we're back to the top of the order, where Doug Brown, who led this thing off with a home run over the left center field fence, steps into the batter's box. Brown's no small fellow, is he? 6'5", 235.
Right. He's working for Louisville Slugger himself, doing some construction work. He's played for some national championship teams for many years.
Ball 1 to him. And the next pitch is outside. 2 balls, no strikes. 7-0 is the score. We're in the first inning. There's a high fly to left. Lee Basin drifting under it, and will make the catch for the out, and the side is retired.
It's not that bad of an inning if you think about it.
Well, the Sox come up with 7 runs in the inning. 7 runs on 7 hits, and there were no errors, and there was 2 men rather, left on base. So after a half inning of play, the score is the Smythe Sox 7 and the Brian C.C. Creation coming to bat. Back here at the Bryan Athletic Complex, the Smythe Sox take a 7-0 lead in the top of the first inning. CC Creations lineup has Doug Williams leading off, followed by Lee Basin, Jimmy Salazar, Chris Tommy, Jerry O'Bannon, Danny Valenta, the third baseman, Ford Taylor, the first baseman, Tom Barrett at second, David Hudspeth, John Elkins, and Bud Nelson, the pitcher, will be the last man in the batting order. What is the key to pitching in slow pitch softball, Mark? Well, what does that pitcher want to try and do? Does he want to make the hitters hit it to a particular spot out there?
Well, this is the guy to watch. He's the best that's ever played the game. He can get the big hitters out probably easier than the base hitters like this C.C. Brick team. He'll move it around. He'll throw it in. He'll throw it out. He's got to make him hit his pitch. That's the key.
Doug Williams is the batter, the leadoff man, the shortstop for C.C. Creations. One thing about pitching in slow-pitch softball, there is certainly really no rhythm out there, is there? Here's a shot right up the middle for a base hit.
No, he wants to keep the batter off his sitting back on that back foot. He wants to move it around and make him hit his pitch. That's the key. If this team does a bunch of that, put a little pressure on Smythe in the late innings, they're going to have to be real consistent with his base hitting.
Buddy Slater is the pitcher. Stepping into the box is Lee Benson, the left fielder. He had his work cut out for him in the first inning out in the outfield.
Right, he's a former All-Stater in 1986. He made the All-State team, Class A. These are local fellas, all of these guys.
makes his home in College Station. The next offering is drilled up the middle for a base hit. That'll put runners at first and second, as both batters going right up the middle.
Well, they look like they've got a plan, and they're going to have to stick with it, not try to get into a home run battle with Smythe. Just base hit and move them around, move them around. One base at a time is the philosophy in this game.
Well, the coach Ford Taylor told us that Doug Williams and Lee Basin really were not power hitters, and now you're getting into the power part of that Bryan lineup.
Right. They've got the next 4 guys with their real power hitters.
Strike one to Tommy Salazar. Now outside. That'll even it up at 1-1.
Looks like Buddy's messing around on the mound a little, doesn't it?
Buddy Slater, as I was watching Salazar in the box, stands with his feet fairly close together and slightly open. See if you can catch that one, Mark. Nope, close. It's going to be caught by Erlenmeyer, the catcher, and that'll be the first out.
He threw that ball right in his eyes and he swung at it. Probably should have laid off of it a little bit. He was just anxious. That's what Buddy does so good. Get you to hit his pitch.
Runners at first and second. 1 out now. That'll bring up Chris Tommy, who plays in left center.
This fellow's working for the sponsor.
Had a look at Doug Williams out on second base a moment ago. Nice pitch by Buddy Slater in there for a strike. That'll even it at 1-1.
This guy's made as many all-tournament teams as any other player on that CC team. He's a good hitter.
How'd you like that move? There's a high fly ball into left center field. Hightower drifting over in front of the fence, leaps and can't get it. It's over the fence for a home run for Chris Tommy.
Well, all he needed was that 1 foot.
That makes it a 7-3 ball game.
I don't know if we mentioned, this is a 10-foot high fence out here. Normally they're 6 to 8 foot. It's 300 all the way around, and it's 10 foot high.
So that is the first home run for CC Creations off of Buddy Slater. That ball barely got over, I think, didn't it, Mark?
Well, Hightower just didn't jump up high enough. I don't know that he could have got it anyway, do you?
Jerry O'Bannon, the catcher, stands in as the next batter. And watches the pitch come inside for ball 2.
He batted .666 last year. He made All-State.
It's a hard shot right back to the pitcher, Buddy Slater, who will throw him out at first base, and 2 men are gone now. 3 runs in, 2 men out. It is a 7-3 ball game in favor of the Smythe Sox. Jerry O'Bannon was the man who just grounded out. This is Danny Valenta, the third baseman.
Yeah, he was the most valuable player last year in the state tournament. He missed that one.
Pops it to the right side in short right field. Coming on is the center fielder, and that's Wheeler, and he'll be there to make the grab for the out, and that will retire the side here in the bottom half of the first inning. So in the inning for Bryan CC Creations, they do get 3 of those runs back. They had 3 runs on 3 hits, and there were no errors, and nobody was left on base. So after 1 full inning of play, the score is the Smythe Sox 7, CC Creations 3. Top of the second inning, 7-3 is the score. The defending world champion Smythe Sox are on top. Bruce Meade is the batter, the right fielder, and he doubled his first time up. And here is a shot out to the shortstop. Williams, you talk about playing deep, and the throw a little bit high for the first baseman Taylor as it goes into the bat rack.
He was playing too deep. He was hoping to catch a line drive. I don't think he really had any idea that he could throw him out.
I'm not sure he could have thrown him out from that distance.
No.
Probably give him a hit on it.
Bruce, we didn't mention, is the most famous person playing slow pitch softball. He's the most recognized name and individual in the game.
Bill Gaddy hit a tremendous home run over the left field fence, will be the next batter. He scored Meade in front of him in the first inning for the second and third runs of the inning. Bill Gaddy, of course, is a right-handed batter and stands slightly open in the box, steps into the ball, watches the first one go outside for ball 1.
If he catches on the inside, he'll hit it probably mostly to the left center side. That's where he's trying to hit it, it looks like. He played for the World Football League years back.
Well, he looks like he could. 250 pounds, and he put most of that behind this shot, which is going to be out of here. Way over the left field fence as Lee Benson watches it sail out. And that will score Meade in front of him. And Gaddy, with his second home run of the night, makes it a 9-3 ball game.
That was almost light high. He got it up in his eyes, and he hit it up in the lights.
So Gaddy is 2 for 2 tonight, both home runs, and 4 RBIs to his credit.
That's what we were mentioning earlier. Anything that's inside, they got to catch it. And this one here, no way.
Boy, he really uncoils on that pitch, doesn't he?
He hit it. He turned on it. Turned his hips on it real good.
That'll bring up Billy Blake, the designated hitter. Blake jumps on the first pitch, and he will send that one out of the ballpark as Tommy chased it to the fence and looked up as it sailed over his head. And Blake is now 1 for 2 tonight after popping up to the shortstop on his first trip. That'll make it a 10-3 game.
Well, there's an old saying in this sport, if you can get loose at first swing and you're still close, you're okay because you're getting loose. Well, they're getting loose, aren't they?
Rick Wheeler steps into the batter's box. Wheeler singled to left his first time up in the first inning. So he is 1 for 1 and takes the first pitch in there for a strike. Wheeler will stand straight away in the box. Now you notice that Bud Nelson stands well back behind the mound sometimes. Here is a high fly ball, left field. That's going to be way out of here. That one got up in the lights itself.
It did. It was hit about 350 feet, it looks like. Light high. He's over there telling him he missed it.
Well, that's a 6th home run picked up by the Smythe Sox here in the ball game so far. They lead it 11-3, and we're in the top of the second inning. Nobody out.
Well, Herlemeyer last time, he hit a home run in his first at bat as a Smythe player, so he's 1 for 1 with a homer.
And Herlemeyer can put 250 pounds behind it also.
Right.
He makes his home in Tampa, Florida. Lists his occupation as real estate, huh? I bet you most of these guys, this is almost a full-time job for them, isn't it, Mark?
Well, they've got to get off work about Thursday, at least. They get back to work late Monday. But it's a hobby, but it's a heck of a hobby, isn't it?
Well, I tell you, a lot of fun.
Get to see the country.
You sure do. Travel all around. Here's a tremendous drive, left field. Benson's going to watch this one sail over his head again. I'll tell you what, Basin out there is going to have to go to his chiropractor the way he's having to look up and watch that ball sail over his head.
He's got a crick in his neck right now. I know that. He's talking about it. He's talking to his brother-in-law behind the fence, I believe, back there now. But, you know, the game, this is a long game. I've seen them come back from 11-3 before. They've got to get them out sometime, though.
Well, that is the 4th home run in 5 batters here in the second inning. 12-3 is the score. The Smythe Sox lead. Cecil Whitehead steps in. He flied to left last time.
He's an excellent defensive player, too. That's what Smythe has over most of the other major teams. They can hit with him, but they can play defense, and this is one of the reasons. Whitehead's a premier defensive player. He and Hightower, one of the 2 best defensive players on the left side in the outfield and softball today.
Just to give you an idea of some of the hometowns of some of these people, he is from Valdosta, Georgia. So, really, this Smythe Sox team has people from all over the country, don't they?
Yeah, Florida, California.
And here's a long drive left field. That is way out of here. That may be one of the longest home runs we've seen tonight so far.
And they got him for defense.
So, home run number 5 of the inning. Makes it a 13-3 ball game as you see Whitehead cross home plate.
Hightower's next hitter, and he's telling me he's been working on hitting the ball out of the park going to right field.
See Whitehead uncoil out of that very closed stance. Of course, the power in slow pitch softball is provided by the hitter. Here is a high fly left field. Basin may have room on this one in front of the fence and will make the catch. Lee Basin makes the grab right in front of the fence, and that is out number 1 in the inning.
He didn't turn on it. He tried to do it with his arms instead of turning it. You got to turn on it to hit it out of here.
What is the key to hitting the ball out of here? Mark, you know, in fast-pitch softball, of course, the pitcher provides a lot of the momentum, but actually the hitter has to provide all the momentum here in slow pitch.
Right, it's waiting for knowing your pitch is number one. You got to know your pitch. You got to wait for it, hit the closest thing to it, and you got to turn on the ball quick.
Attaboy, not hit.
Turned on that one pretty good and pounds it over the left center field fence. And that is his first home run of the night after a double in the first inning.
Yeah, John's been hitting a lot of balls this past winter, trying to keep that spot on the team. I think he's doing it.
7 runs on 7 hits in this particular inning, including 6 home runs. It is a 14-3 game now. And Bill Pollock steps into the batter's box. He singled to left his first time up.
1983, he hit about 300 home runs.
There's a shot maybe in the gap in center field. Hits the fence on the fly about halfway up. Pollock digging for second base. And will jog in as the relay comes in from the shortstop Williams. And Pollock is in with a stand-up double.
You can see by watching this CC team that they do have fundamentals down, and on their level, the Class A level, Smythe's open, but on the Class A level, you can see they're a sound fundamental club.
Buddy Slater, the pitcher, steps into the box. He singled up the middle his first time. So he's 1 for 1. Do these guys lift weights?
Nearly all of them do. Nearly all of them lift weights.
There's a shot right back to Bud Nelson, the pitcher, who will fire it over to Taylor at first base, and that will retire Buddy Slater. That'll be out number 2 of the inning.
Buddy was just trying to hit it up the middle, and I don't think he meant to hit it on the ground, though.
So 2 men gone, and a runner at second base as Pollock has to hold, and that will bring up the leadoff batter, Doug Brown. Brown homered his first time, flied to left to make the last out of the first inning, and here's a fly ball, deep left field, and that is going to be out of here.
Right under the lights.
Tommy and Basin went over and looked up and watched it sail out, and Pollock will score in front of him as Doug Brown receives the congratulations from his teammates.
Looks like they might need to make a pitching change a little bit, move it around, and Smythe's just in a groove right now.
9 runs in the inning. Another look at it as Brown rips it out over the left field fence. And Bruce Meade, the batter.
Bruce is measured to hit one 510 feet.
We're still in the second inning. Here's a shot over the center field fence. It's out of here. So Bruce Meade pounds his first home run of the night after doubling and singling his first 2 times up.
He hits a hard ball, line drive, doesn't he?
No doubt.
Don't want to be a pitcher and catch one of those.
8 home runs in the inning now for the Smythe Sox. 10 runs in this inning, so that makes it a 17-3 game. Here's another look at that swing. You can see how he uncoils and check the arms out on these guys too.
I think we mentioned Bill's 5'10", 250 batter now.
2 home runs tonight. 2 for 2, 2 home runs.
He's been on 8 World Championship teams, this hitter.
Here's the next pitch to him. And he rips this one, but it's going to be foul. Get a look at that sunset out there as the ball lands clear out there in left field, but this one is a foul ball.
Needs to wait on it. That's what caused that. He just needs to wait on it. A little too impatient. Get it out in front of him.
This one is popped left side. Basin moving over near the line and will make the catch for the final out of the inning. So Gaddy flies to left, and that will retire the Smythe Sox finally here in the second inning. They came up with 10 runs in the inning. So after an inning and a half of play, the score is the Smythe Sox 17 and the Bryant CC Creations 3. We'll be back in a minute. Gallup along with Mark Henson back in Bryan, Texas. to open up a brand new athletic complex, the Bryan Athletic Complex. Very beautiful complex of 4 softball fields. And what a way to start it off with the Texas State Class A champions and the defending world champions as the first pitch comes in and is driven out into right field. Ford Taylor, the first baseman, gets credit for that base hit.
He told us before the game he was going to do that, didn't he?
Sure did. I was asking him about moving the ball around out there, and he says, well, I'm not a power hitter. That's about my only chance is to move it around.
They need about 30 of those right now in a row.
Here's Tom Barrett, the second baseman, who steps into the batter's box. Barrett lives right here in Bryan. Of course, all these players do. Ground ball out to short. Brown's up with it. Second for one. The relay to first won't be in time, but Taylor is forced at second base. 6-4, and Barrett is safe on the fielder's choice.
All Smythe wants to do is just get an out on any ball. Just get one out. They feel the extra one on the double play is just a bonus. They want to get the out, don't give anything, come back and score 10 an inning.
The score is 17-3 as David Hudspeth, who lives in College Station, steps into the batter's box. Of course, a right-handed batter. Plays out in right field.
He's got pretty good speed, and if he hits it down, he might could beat it out. Can't bunt on this level, though.
1 ball, 1 strike to him. As the next pitch is a little bit low for ball 2. Tell you what, if you look away for a moment, you may have another pitch or 2 out there that has come to the plate.
This is the youngest fellow on the team, and here he is, his first year on the team, and his first team to play as a world champion.
And he gives this one a ride to deep left field. Whitehead goes back in front of the fence, and it's still in here, but he can't come up with a catch. Digging for third base is Taylor, and he's in there as the throw comes in. As Hudspeth gave it a ride, didn't quite get it out of here, as Whitehead did not come up with a catch, so it was a little bit over his head. That's a 10-foot fence out there. And going into second base is Hudspeth, but Barrett really had to hold up because he wasn't sure whether it was going to go over the fence or not.
They'll catch these later on in the year, but it's early. He's going back. He doesn't have his gauge down yet. And he just flat missed it, didn't he?
So credit Hudspeth with a double, and that'll bring up John Elkins, the right center fielder. This is the first left-handed batter that we have seen.
Some of you Aggies out there, he was a quarterback for Texas A&M a few years back.
I remember him well. 1-1 the count to Elkins. And he whips it into right field, and that's going to score Barrett in front of him. Hudspeth goes around third base, and he'll come in to score the 4th and 5th runs of the night for Bryan.
Well, you can hear this is a local crowd, and they're pulling for the local fellas, and they need to keep on batting for about another 20 minutes, Gary. They can do it.
Tell you what, they've got a ways to go to catch up. It is a 17-5 ball game now, and Bud Nelson, the pitcher, moves into the batter's box and takes the first pitch in there for a strike. The wind starting to kick up just a little bit. You said something interesting about the wind, Mark, a little bit earlier, and its ability to keep a game close.
Right. If the team that Smythe was playing, we'll hold on.
Brown to second for the first for the out, and that will be all for Bud Nelson, and that'll be all for CC Creations here in the bottom half of the second inning. But they did come up with a couple of runs in the inning on 3 base hits, and there were no errors. 1 man was left on base. So after 2 full innings of play, the score is the Smythe Sox 17 and CC Creations 5. We go to the top half of the 3rd inning. Smythe Sox are leading it 17-5. Billy Blake, the designated hitter, will be the first man to step into the box. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Popped to the shortstop his first time up Williams, and then pounded it over the left field fence his last time. Let's talk a little bit about the wind. A wind blowing out and a wind blowing in. How does this aid a team such as, say, Bryan, who obviously is a big underdog in this ball game, going against the world champions, Mark?
Well, Bryan doesn't really have that much power. They need a big wind blowing in a lot to help them.
And this is Blake as he rips it out of the ballpark way over that left field fence for his second home run of the night.
But if they had 10 players who could hit the ball out on occasion, and they had the wind blowing out, they can get it up in the wind, and their 290 footers are now 310, and Smythe's 310s are now 400, so we're all even again. So right now, they don't have enough power hitters. They need a gale wind blowing straight in, and they just don't have it.
Here's another look at Blake as he pounds it over that left center field fence, and that will bring up Rick Wheeler. And the first pitch to him is ball 1. One and one. Inside, ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. There's a ground ball out to Williams in short. Can't find the handle on it. And Wheeler will end up on first base. And that will probably be an error charge to Williams.
He was trying to throw it before he had it. Just rushing himself just a little bit.
Perlmeyer, the catcher, steps in. He has homered both times up tonight and has accounted for 2 of those runs.
He's going to make a great addition to this Smythe team. This is one of the reasons that on paper they're the best slow-pitch softball team in history. He's one of the reasons right now.
First pitch to him is ball 1, a little bit low. Kind of unusual that you don't see hardly any left-handed batters, Mark. Why is that?
Well, I don't know. It's just this particular situation, but if you look around the country, most of the real power hitters swing from that side.
And Herlemau draws a base on balls. Got to be tough to stand up there and have the patience to draw a walk.
Yeah, it does, but that shows that he is, number 1, a team player, and number 2, he knows his pitch. He didn't see it, and he wasn't going to make an out or hope to hit it out of the park, and that's what makes him one of the better hitters.
Cecil Whitehead is the batter, and he's 1 for 2. Homered his last time up over the left field fence, flied to left his first time. Whitehead stands with a very closed stance and will stride into the softball.
He was a second-round pick for Baltimore years ago, and jumped into this game, and he started off his first team, I believe, was a national champion team.
He got out in front of that one a little bit and pulled it foul over the fence down the left side over the third base dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Whitehead. Brett Hightower is the on-deck batter.
He's a smart hitter. He's a smart hitter, this Cecil.
And he gets all of that one as he rips it to left field, and a nice grab out there by Lee Basin. Well, not a grab. It went over his head, actually. It looked like he was going to come up with it.
Sure did.
But he didn't quite get it, and hustling around to score was Rick Wheeler and Mark Perlmeyer, rather, the catcher. And Whitehead ends up on second base.
Hightower's new to this major level ball. He started off in '85 when he played for me and led the team in hitting, and in '86 Smythe kept him and he made the all-world team. Young player. One of the top 3 players to ever come out of the city of Houston.
Brett Hightower is the batter. Hightower homered, fly to left. And he lofts a high fly ball to Basin out in left. And now it's Tommy who calls him off and will make the catch. And tagging and going to third base. That'll be Herlemauer.
Well, we don't have a run rule.
All right, I was looking around a while ago as Basin did catch that ball a while ago.
I thought he did.
Yeah, he did catch it. They were tagging up and running.
Right.
I looked down and saw him running.
Right.
But there are 2 outs.
If you look on the player profile, you've got on here his hobbies are golf and eating, and I've seen him eat a lot of food.
And Grissom doubled and homered. And it's 3 balls and no strikes to him. 2 men are out now here in the top half of the 3rd inning. Bryan trying to get out of this inning with not too much damage for a change. The hard smash past the glove of Valenta at third base.
Well, you got to get in front of it to catch it, number one, and he got by him pretty quick, though.
And Grissom went hustling into second base. And another run scores. So that makes it 20-5. Bill Pollock's the batter, the first baseman. Runner at second, 2 men out. As Pollock rips it left center field. Tommy going way back to the fence. Looking up, it is out of here. So Grissom will score in front of Pollock. And Pollock has his first home run of the night.
Well, we're getting a good crowd out there behind the fence. We're not going to lose any balls tonight anyway, are we? If you notice, they're all on the left side. We haven't had anything go over on the right side.
Really haven't. Let's take another look at it. Boy, those guys really uncoil on that ball.
6'6", 295. He can miss it and hit it out of here, I think.
Buddy Slater, 1 for 2. Going to have a pinch hitter for Slater, maybe. Yeah, let's check it out.
Gary Pica.
Gary Pica will be hitting for Buddy Slater. And Pica can hit it, too.
We've got free substitution out here.
Pica gave it a ride, but Basin chased it down right in front of the fence and made a nice catch. So Pica flies out to Lee Basin in left field.
He's a defensive specialist and a good hitter, too. He'll get his.
You got to be strong to get out of here.
Smythe Sox pick up 4 more runs in the inning, however. And that'll up that lead. It is now the Smythe Sox 21, CC Creations 5. We'll be back for the bottom of the third in just a minute. Another look at that catch by Lee Basin out in front of the left field fence. 22-5 is the score, and there have been some substitutions. Pica came into the ball game and stays in at shortstop.
Right, we moved the shortstop Brown over to third. We've got Hurtelmeyer pitching. We've got third baseman Grissom going behind the plate. They're just going to make different looks here tonight, and it's an exhibition game.
And the batter is Doug Williams, the shortstop, who rips the first pitch, but it's foul. He singled up the middle his first time up, so he's 1 for 1 and has scored 1 of the 5 runs.
He's a good leadoff hitter. He bats about 625 for this team all year long.
Right-handed batter stands closed up there in the batter's box.
Looks like he's trying to go to right field, doesn't it?
Sure does.
No, pulled it around.
Out into left field for a base hit, so Doug Williams is 2 for 2.
He had the shortstop moved over behind second base. He hit it right through that hole.
Playing a busy left field, says the PA announcer. Lee Basin steps into the batter's box. He singled up the middle his first time and scored the second run. Here's the first pitch to him, and it's a little bit low inside for ball 1. And here's a fly ball out towards center. Wheeler moving over as that ball sliced away from him, but he managed to chase it down and make the grab right in front of the fence.
That's one of the things that Smythe preaches to his guys. Let's make some defensive plays, too. Let's just don't try to blubber around these bases with home runs. Let's learn to play defense, and these guys have got a good outfield.
Doug Williams tagged and went to second base. That brings up Jimmy Salazar. Salazar watches the first pitch outside for a ball. One for 1. No, Salazar popped up his first time up to the catcher. He got around on this one, though, and lifts it into deep, deep left field. The wind blows the ball back, and Whited makes the catch.
Nice play. Grissom blocked the plate, made him go around him. It was a good call.
Tried to tag and come all the way around on the fly ball by Salazar, and Williams is thrown out at home plate. Take another look at it as Williams tried to catch it with his hand. And a nice tag.
Sure was.
And that will be all for CC Creations here in the bottom half of the third inning as they get nothing on the board. So no runs on one base hit, no errors, and one man was left on base. So after 3 full innings now, the Smythe Sox lead it by 16. Top half of the 4th inning from the Bryan Athletic Complex. Doug Brown, the leadoff batter, rips the pitch over the head of Basin out in left field for a home run, and that will be Brown's 3rd home run of the night and the 22nd run for the Smythe Sox.
He hit it right into that wind now. We've got a little drifting wind coming across from left to right. He just hit it up in it 325 feet. Real smooth swing.
Let's check it out again.
Bruce Meade.
Boy, he had a rip at it, didn't he?
He did.
This is Bruce Meade stepping into the batter's box.
He lives in Florida. He's a sheriff. Bruce is a sheriff.
Well, he looks like he could be a sheriff.
Yeah, when he pulls you over, I guess you say yes, sir, don't you?
Got that mustache? Check that out.
The old open A's.
Right.
He's been a 20-time All-American, and he's played on 11 national championship teams, and he takes a walk. The best hitter in softball.
How about that? A base on ball.
Team player.
Bruce Meade.
They may need that run later, Gary.
Oh, I don't know about that. Tell you what, Mark, we may be here all night.
Well, maybe we can get home for David Letterman Sunday, okay?
Bill Gaddy into the batter's box, and Gaddy has himself a 2-for-3 night going. 2 home runs, flied to left his last time. Bud Nelson going to take a little bit of time out there on the mound. A runner at first base, nobody out, 1 run in here in the top of the 4th inning.
Years ago when they had pro softball, Gaddy played all those years, and he was a 6-time all-pro slow-pitch softball player.
I can see why. Here's the next pitch to him, and he pops that one into left center field. Here comes Tommy in on his horse, and Cam Sundreth makes the catch. So for the 2nd time in a row, Gaddy didn't quite get all of it and popped it into left field.
Right. CC, they've got him played right inside the park, don't they?
As long as you can keep them inside, huh?
They're hitting him 450 right over left center fielder's head.
Billy Blake has 2 home runs and 3 trips at the plate, and popped out to the shortstop Williams his first time up.
He can hit as far as anybody in the game. He's one of the 5 longest hitters on this Smythe team. When he pulls one, he's going to pull it 400 feet.
2 balls and no strikes to him. And a strike in there by Bud Nelson. 2-1. Kind of get a kick out of the pitchers the way they throw the ball up there and then start backpedaling, Mark.
Yeah, he wants to get as far away as he can from Billy.
Billy's going to wrap this one deep left field over the fence for a home run, his 3rd of the night.
That was a line drive. If he gets it up, it's going to be even further.
And you can see Blake trotting around the bases, and there goes Bruce Meade in front of him. So 2 runs will cross the plate on that home run, 2 more RBIs. Watches that ball all the way in and just unloads on it.
Got all of that 285 pounds in it.
That makes it 24 now for the Smythe Sox. Rick Wheeler is the batter.
A couple of years ago, Rick here won a couple of little home run derby tournaments out in Anaheim against Bruce, and last year Bruce got the title back.
There's a sharp ground ball up the middle out into center field, where it will be picked up by the left center fielder, Tommy, as he returns it to the shortstop, the cutoff man, Williams. And that'll be a base hit for Rick Wheeler. Wheeler, one of the smaller guys at 225, I guess, huh?
Right, but he's got 6'2" on him.
So Wheeler is 3 for 4 tonight. That brings up Mark Perlemeyer, the catcher. Perlemeyer's 2 for 2 in a walk and has scored 3 runs. And his 2 hits have been home runs, both over the left center field fence.
He's a patient hitter. He waits for his pitch, and it's one of the reasons Smythe's got him on this team.
Ball 1. Ball 2.
The secret to this game is recruiting. You get the players, and really a manager, what he can do is foul it up. If he'll just stay out of their way, let them play, and there's not a whole lot of strategy to it, really.
And really, Mark, this is a relatively young team. I don't mean by the sense of young in age. Here's Williams at shortstop, the second for 1. Relay to first is by the first baseman, Taylor. So the force at second on Wheeler as he is out of there, 6 to 4. That'll be out number 2. Perlemeyer is going to be safe on the fielder's choice at first base. But what I was saying is this is a team that really got started in 1984, so this is only the 3rd year of this particular ball club.
Well, the Smythe team you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, in 1984 he had a little C team, and 85 he put together an A club. And that's the one that I managed the World Series when I retired, and he's improved that team many times over.
Cecil Whitehead is the batter. Takes that one in for a strike to even it at 1-1. Two and 1. Drive left center field. Tommy makes a nice grab out there in front of the fence. Good job.
Excellent play
By the left center fielder, Chris Tommy. And the Smythe Sox are retired here in the 4th inning. And they only picked up 3 runs in this particular inning.
Well, they're slowing down.
Slowing down just a little bit. So we played 3.5 innings now at the Bryan Athletic Complex, and it goes to 24 to 5 now in favor of the Smythe Sox. Gary Gallup along with Mark Hinson back here in Bryan as we go back to play bottom of the 4th inning. Here is that shot by Whitehead and a great catch by Chris Tommy as he goes tumbling into the fence after making the grab. You can see the ball there as he holds it up in his glove. Nice job.
Looks like the velocity of the ball carried him back a little bit. That's excellent play. It's getting a little chilly out here, isn't it?
Sure is. Butch Evans has come in to pitch for the Smythe Sox. We'll give you a little background on him in a moment. As Tommy, who made the fine catch a moment ago, will lead off at the plate here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Strike 1 to him.
Really? You're good to me.
Got under that one.
Lofted out into center field. The wind carries it out back toward the fence, though, and Wheeler is there to chase it down and make the catch. So Tommy flies out to center field, actually to the right. Well, it is to the center fielder.
That's right.
I kind of get mixed up a little bit when I look at the left fielder, the left center fielder, the center fielder, and I guess there's a different terminology that different teams use because Bryan calls their people a left center fielder and a right center fielder.
Right, and they can call him a rover.
Yeah.
Left center fielder, a lot of teams call him a rover, but most teams play 4 outfielders around on the major level. They don't put the rover roaming around behind second base like years ago. The game's really been refined and changed.
Jerry O'Bannon, the batter, watches the count go to 3-0. He grounded back to the mound his first time and now takes a base on ball. So a walk given up by Butch Evans.
That's patience when you're down 24 to 5. That's good.
Danny Valenta, the third baseman, flied to center his first time up, so he is 0 for 1.
He's one of the power hitters in this club.
This one's driven by Brown out at shortstop, out in the left field for a base hit. It'll be picked up by Whitehead and returned to the infield, and O'Bannon will go to second base. Runners at first and second with 1 man out, and that will bring up Ford Taylor, the first baseman. Taylor, the coach of the team.
didn't mention to you, I don't believe that he's the owner of CC Creations. Modest fellow.
Yeah. Didn't mention his batting average either. .666. That's not too shabby, huh?
Right. You've got to bat 600 to play the game. If you hit it with power, you're worth a lot of money.
And here's a shot down the right field line as O'Bannon rounds third base. He'll come in to score. Going to second will be Valente. And pulling up at first with a single will be Ford Taylor and an RBI.
This is what they want to do. Put them on the corners and start hitting the ball to singles, first and third for about the next 45 minutes. Be tough to do, Gary.
Well, that'll be run number 6 for them. They still got a ways to go, don't they? And here's a little shot out into left field as he pokes it in for a base hit. And scoring run number 7 is Valente, as you saw him go across the plate. Holding up at second base is Taylor. And Barrett is at first with a single and an RBI.
Well, they're getting their strokes down right now. They're hitting the ball on the line. They've got to play within their game and just do their thing and add them up, like they say, after 21 outs.
Got a couple of runs, and here's a shot out into right field. And that's going to load them up as Taylor stops at third base. Barrett goes to second, and Hudspeth pulls up at first with a single. One of the things that you mentioned earlier was that in this game, you got to pick up 4 or 5 runs an inning, don't you, to be competitive, Mark?
You've got to. You've got to score every inning. You've got to keep the pressure on the other team. And if you don't, it's going to be a long day.
This is Elkins, the batter. Elkins singled to right his first time up. And he uncorks one to straightaway center field, and it hits the top of the fence. Stays in play. Here comes 1 run in. Here comes 2 runs in, and the relay in as Elkins gets himself a couple of RBIs.
Samus right between Wheeler and Hightower. He did a good job. That's where you're going to hit it, between those guys, not right at them.
He hit that ball to straightaway center field. Hit about halfway up on the fence out there. And that brings in Taylor and Barrett. And that'll be 4 runs in the inning. Bud Nelson is the batter. Was that Nelson? Let's see.
It's like 2.
Gary Bishop. This is Gary Bishop batting instead of Nelson now. Yeah.
He's one of the best hitters on the team, Gary. Missed that line a couple of feet.
Just foul. Bishop ripped it pretty hard.
With this free substitution, they're not notifying us what's going on, and they're just people coming from the dugout and out of the bleachers and concession stand batting. I don't know what's going on.
Keep an eye on those numbers as they come up to the plate, Mark. Well, what has happened here?
Well, they brought another guy into bat.
Well, this is the leadoff batter, Doug Williams.
Well, they're calling it 2 outs. Maybe third found out. I don't know what's going on. They haven't notified.
Doug Williams, the leadoff man, steps in and takes the first pitch for ball 1.
They just batted somebody between 10 and 1. Just threw him in there. That's going to be a little trouble.
Short fly. Whitehead on his horse.
Excellent play.
No, what a great catch by the left fielder, Whitehead, who makes the catch on the play on the fly ball by Doug Williams. And that'll do it for CC Creations here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. However, in the inning, they did come up with 4 runs. And so that will chip away at that lead just a little bit. 4 runs in the inning to go along with the 5 that they had previously. So after 4 full innings, it is a 24-9 count in favor of the Smythe Sox. We go to the top half of the 5th inning as Doug Williams lofted a fly ball to left field, and just a great running catch by Cecil Whitehead out there. A diving catch as he came up with the softball for the 3rd out of the inning.
That's what separates that Smythe team from the other big teams. They play defense, too. They take that hit away from you. That's what they do so well.
The score is 24-9. Britt Hightower 1 for 3. He doubled for his hit.
If he gets in a groove, he's going to hit a bunch of them to left center and in the lights.
Hightower flied to left on his last 2 trips and doubled to left his first trip to the plate. Takes a strike. And here's a ground ball out to Williams at short. Nice dig. Fires over to his first baseman, Taylor. That'll be all for Hightower.
Excellent play. Hit the ball right at him. Didn't hesitate and fired a strike over to first base.
Butch Ovens comes to the plate for the first time. He went in to pitch last inning, and this will be his first trip to the plate. One ball, one strike to him.
Butch is trying to win him a spot on this club.
Valenta with a nice scoop over there, but can't make the play at first base.
Just missed a few people over there behind the first base.
Heads up.
Who we got coming up now? Pollock. Bill Pollock. They're moving him in and out now.
Pollock is the first baseman, and he is 3 for 3. Homered his last time up over the left field fence. And here's the first pitch, a little bit low. Pollock takes it deep to center field. The center fielder is there. Elkins will make the grab. And the tag, and going into third base safely on the play after the tag is Ovens.
This is a shortstop up. Played for San Antonio a little bit later, and they picked him up. Defense, base hit, good all-around player. He can play anywhere.
And here's a shot just past the outstretched glove of Williams out into left field. Ovens will come around to score.
He never hesitated when he hit it, Gary. He was going to second base the whole time.
So Pica with his first hit. And run number 25 scores as Ovens comes in. 25-9. By the way, on the mound is Jerry O'Bannon. Dwight Treadwell will be the batter, and this will be his first trip to the plate, as he will bat in the place of Doug Brown.
He's played for a couple of good teams in the country, Lealco and Star Path. He's trying to get a shot here, and he hit a long one.
He's got that one over the light.
Well, he's making Tim Smythe smile now.
Boy, howdy. Treadwell did give that one a ride, and that will score Pica in front of him.
He was a Kodak All-American years ago.
Take another look at it. Boy, does he unwind on it. I'll tell you what, Mark, this game is a statistician's nightmare.
Sure is. Exhibition, free substitution.
Bruce Meade is the batter. Handlebar mustache and all as he steps in. O'Bannon, as we mentioned ago, is on the mound. He is the pitcher as he came in to pitch this inning. And, of course, he was the catcher, started the game behind the plate. Johnny Wright is behind the plate. He's the catcher now.
This is the first outing for Smythe this year. They just got together yesterday, first time since last September when they won the World Series, and they look great.
Meade lost a high fly ball. Yes. And when I say high, we really mean high. It's out of here.
Over the lights all the way.
So that'll be his second home run of the night and his third hit of the evening, and he has scored 5 runs.
The pitcher's just saying, boy, I'm glad he didn't hit it to me.
Boy, can you imagine imagine a line drive coming back at you on the mound from one of these big guys?
They play some of these games on AstroTurf infields, and it gets to you quick.
Meade says there's no doubt about that one.
Years ago, Gary, when we first started out, they used wooden bats and mushy balls and played on 275-foot fences, and you may have 3 home runs a game. It's changed a lot.
Here's and we have just had another home run. This one is over the head of Basin in left field, and this is Bill Gaddy. And that is Gaddy's 3rd home run of the night.
Hit that one on the line, turned on it. They've been working out about 6 weeks each on their own. He calls them and they meet at a different city. They get a couple of swings in and practice. They come out here and do their thing.
I'm trying to count up all the home runs here. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 16 home runs. And I could be missing 1 or 2 here.
What I predict, 20? I'm going to be short.
Billy Blake is the batter. Jerry O'Bannon on the mound. Started the game behind the plate. And that pitch is outside. And so is that one. Ball 4. So Blake draws the base on balls.
I don't think he was intentionally trying to walk him. He just couldn't get the ball close to the plate.